This is the moment Germany realized they could never win World War II. Not D-Day, not Stalingrad, but a massive battle almost nobody talks about today. Soldiers marched for miles, worn-out boots cutting into their feet. Exhaustion weighed on everyone, but retreat wasn't an option. Every step was heavy, hearts pounding, and the distant rumble of artillery a constant reminder that danger was never far. It's the largest tank battle in human history, and the moment Germany permanently lost the initiative on the Eastern Front. The ground would soon shake under engines, artillery, and chaos. Smoke, dust, and the smell of burning metal filled the air, creating a surreal, terrifying landscape. To understand Kursk, you have to understand the desperation on both sides in 1943. Germany is still dangerous, but badly damaged. Every soldier felt the tension, adrenaline mixed with fear. Civilians dug trenches, aware the war might reach them next. Sweat ran down faces streaked with dirt. Every movement was careful, calculated, and filled with apprehension. Tens of thousands of German soldiers had been lost in winter battles. Fuel shortages grew worse each month. New recruits were younger, less experienced, and terrified of what lay ahead. The echo of previous defeats haunted every decision, and morale was a fragile, flickering thing. But the Wehrmacht still had elite armored divisions, and Hitler still believed that one powerful offensive could turn everything around. Civilians labored under scorching sun, fear and determination etched on their faces, digging trenches, camouflaging artillery positions, and preparing for a war they might not survive. When Hitler sees the Kursk salient, a huge bulge in Soviet lines, he sees opportunity. If Germany can pinch off the bulge, they could encircle 500,000 Soviet troops. Generals like Manstein warned that the Soviets might know what's coming. But Hitler ignores them. Tension filled command rooms. Maps were traced repeatedly, each line a potential death sentence. He delays the attack multiple times, believing new Panthers and Tigers will give Germany the edge. But these new tanks arrive with mechanical issues. Panthers break down constantly. Some don't even make it to the battlefield. Yet Hitler pushes forward anyway. He sees Kursk as Germany's last chance to regain momentum. Generals debate furiously over strategy, aware that one misstep could cost thousands of lives. The air is thick with tension, and officers whisper about the impossibility of success even as they march forward. Stalin and the Soviet High Command, the Stavka, already know the attack is coming. They know the day, the direction, and even the units involved. They use this knowledge to build the most fortified battlefield the world has ever seen. Every trench, gun emplacement, and tank trap was carefully planned for maximum effect, with each layer designed to slow, confuse, and destroy the enemy. Millions of civilians, workers, farmers, teenagers, join soldiers in digging trenches and tank traps. The air smells of dirt and sweat. The sun beats down as everyone works tirelessly. Each shovel stroke carries fear, hope, and determination all at once. Entire defensive belts are built in layers. If Germany breaks through one, they immediately hit another. The ground is a labyrinth of trenches, mines, and steel. Anti-tank guns are placed at perfect angles. Some are buried so deep only the barrel shows above ground. Fields are laced with mines so dense that every few steps could trigger an explosion. The Soviets build dummy trenches, fake roads, and false artillery positions to confuse German scouts. The Red Army positions mobile reserve forces behind the lines. Entire tank armies waiting to counterattack the moment Germans break through. By late June 1943, the Soviets have 1.3 million troops, 3,600 tanks, 20,000 guns, and 2,900 aircraft ready. The Germans are walking into a trap the Soviets spent months constructing. Every step would be met with overwhelming firepower. July 5th, 1943. The German attack opens with one of the largest artillery barrages of the Eastern Front. The sky shakes as thousands of shells explode. Smoke and dust fill the air, turning the battlefield into chaos. The roar of artillery and the screams of men mix with the thunder of engines, creating a deafening symphony of war. The Soviets respond instantly, launching their own artillery strikes on German assembly areas. This happens before German tanks even begin moving. The Soviets knew exactly when the attack was starting. Commands are shouted over the roar of engines, machine guns, and explosions. Soldiers cling to each other, adrenaline coursing through veins, praying that they survive each second. As German armor pushes forward, minefields explode beneath them. Tank treads snap. Engines burst into flames. Crew members scramble for cover. German engineers try clearing mines, but come under constant Soviet machine gun and sniper fire. Every second is life or death. Progress slows to a crawl. German generals realize the attack is failing, but they push on. In the northern sector, the 9th Army faces the strongest Soviet defenses. Every time German tanks break into a trench line, they find another directly behind it. And another. And another. Soviet soldiers fight from underground bunkers reinforced with logs and steel plates, nearly bomb-proof. German infantry take heavy losses just trying to reach enemy positions. Fear, exhaustion, and chaos dominate the front lines. The screams of wounded comrades and the smell of burning metal make the ground feel alive with danger. By the end of day 1, German commanders admit privately, "We cannot break the northern defenses." In the south, the Germans push deeper. Elite SS tank divisions advance toward Prokhorovka. The terrain is open, dusty, filled with small hills and patches of farmland. Perfect for tank warfare, but deadly for both sides. The Soviets respond by shifting entire tank armies south to stop them. On the night of July 11th, Soviet tank crews prepare for what many know will be their final battle. The air smells of oil, gunpowder, and fear. Some write quick letters home, hiding them in uniforms or backpacks, hoping someone finds them. Tank commanders gather crews and brief them. At dawn, we charge straight at the Germans. It's terrifying, but they know the fate of the Eastern Front rests on them. Heartbeats pound in the night. July 12, 1943. The sun rises over the Russian steppe. More than 1,200 tanks stand ready for one of the most chaotic battles ever fought. Soviet tanks roar down the slopes at full speed, raising huge clouds of dust and smoke. Engines scream and ground shakes beneath them. German crews struggle to see targets. Their optics are useless in the haze. Tigers fire blindly through dust clouds. Many shots miss, others hit friendly units in confusion. T-34s close the distance quickly, knowing their only chance is close-range combat. Some T-34 drivers intentionally rammed German tanks to disable them. Almost suicidal, but effective. Tank crews describe the battlefield as hell on earth: black smoke, burning metal, exploding ammunition, screaming engines. Soviet infantry crawl behind tanks, throwing grenades under German armor. Individual tank duels break out at ranges of 20-30 meters. The battlefield is confusion, fire, and fury. By mid-afternoon, hundreds of tanks are destroyed. Some burn so hot their metal frames melt. But one thing is clear: the Germans cannot break the Soviet line. While the battle rages, Hitler receives urgent news. The Allies have invaded Sicily. A new front has opened. Germany must now defend Italy and the Eastern Front simultaneously. Hitler panics and orders the immediate halt of Operation Citadel. German generals argue they are close to breaking through in the south, but Hitler refuses to listen. The attack is over. The Germans withdraw. Germany loses thousands of men and hundreds of tanks. More importantly, it loses valuable time and the strategic initiative. For the Soviets, Kursk is a turning point. Their industry outproduces Germany by huge margins. Their armies are larger, better equipped, and gaining experience. Soviet soldiers feel a new confidence. For the first time, they have stopped Germany's elite divisions head-on. After Kursk, the Soviets launch Operation Kutuzov, smashing the Oryol salient. In the south, Operation Rumyantsev pushes Germans back toward the Dnieper River. For Germany, Kursk marks the end of offensive power. They never attack again. From now on, it's a long retreat to Berlin. Soldiers and civilians alike reflect on the cost. Thousands dead, fields littered with wreckage, towns scarred forever. So why isn't Kursk talked about like Normandy? The battlefield was huge, open. No iconic photos, no dramatic footage, just scorched fields and burned metal. But in scale, destruction, and strategic importance, Kursk is unmatched. It was the battle that broke Germany's back. Kursk wasn't just tanks and artillery. It was endurance, sacrifice, and planning on a scale never seen before. If you enjoyed this deep dive into forgotten military history, subscribe to Conflistory. Tell me in the comments which battle you want next.